So we have started. So I'll share my screen. So in order to check the in order to create the number sequences, we just need to go to the organization administration. Here number sequence select under.
Srinivas, we are unable to see your screen. Is it only with me or others also?
We can't able to see the screen.
Okay, my screen. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes, now we can see.
Okay. So I hope you remember the concept why we have to create the number sequences and all. It helps us to identify the transactions of the any particular module or any particular type of transaction. So it should not be a confusion for on a daily basis, since we record a lot of transactions, right? It will help us to identify. Even if there and the two duplicate watches will not get created in case if you create the number sequence. So to configure number sequences for any organization, we just need to go to organization administration under number sequences, click on number sequences. Since yesterday we have already created the number sequences, I think now it will not allow us to create. We'll see once again in case if it gets created, or else sometimes it may not allow. The same number sequences we can use. I'll show you how the default number sequences is reflecting in all modules. Yesterday we have created, right? In accounts receivable, accounts payable, fixed assets, and all.
Srinivas, actually, we
Yeah.
can't able to see the screen of D365. You can
Is
just,
it same with everyone?
yeah,
Yeah, we
actually,
see this Skype call,
yes.
not the main screen.
Can you just stop your sharing and again reshare the screen?
Okay, now can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, now we can.
Okay. Uh, so so the navigation part is like just go to organization administration, number sequences. Here we need to click on the generate, but yesterday we have already created, right? So it is not allowing us to create the new number sequences. So the already created number sequences we can cross check here by checking in the module wise. Just go to the accounts payable. In every module we will be having the parameters. Parameters like account. This is where we will link, will give posting profiles. All these things will be created under the setup. Just go to accounts payable parameters. Yeah, so select number sequences. Here, if you see number sequence code, these numbers yesterday after generating the numbers, after generating itself, it is created. The moment you create a legal entity, right, these column will be shown as an empty. So once you click on generate, all this will get created. Let us check in the accounts receivable module. Same under setup, accounts receivable parameters will be there. select number sequences. Yes, you can see here. Even let us check in the fixed assets as well. Fixed assets under setup, fixed assets parameters. Number sequences. See. So, sorry, someone wants to speak. Okay, so this is how we can cross check once the one generating the number sequences. All right.
Srinivas, I have a doubt. Can
Yeah.
we change the number sequence code?
Yeah. So I guess yesterday, if you remember, I have explained in case if you want to change this number sequence code or if you want to customize this number sequence.
No, actually, yesterday we have tried, but it's not allowing us to change the code. It's allowing us to change the name and everything, but code is not being changed.
So code in the sense you mean to say this
Yes,
FIXC83 is there. So
yes,
you want to
exactly.
change this one.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Huh.
not the name, it's the code. FIXE underscore 83. It's in the left
Understood.
side.
See, in order to customize this one, like while posting the journal entries, wait, I'll show you how you can change the number sequence code. For example, let us go to general ledger. We'll try to post by anyone general journals. I'll explain this the meaning of the general journal in the next class. I'll show how voucher can be created here. Just click on new. Yeah, if you see here, I have created yesterday. I have even though the default number sequence was not in this format, it was in some JV hyphen 001 or something. But later I changed it to BTN hyphen this series, right? So in case if you want to change this one, just click on this. You can just double click on this one, or else you just click one. Huh. Just come to this corner of this cell, give a right click. If you give a right click, you can see these options. Just select view details. Okay, it is not taking to the number sequence page actually. Or else we will try to check in the any USMF since it is already created, right? Because here maybe after configuring the currencies, all these things, it might show us to do the changes. We'll see in USMF. Okay, see here under USMF, the journal batch numbers, these they have customized it, right? We'll try to change this one if it is possible. View details. Okay, I think here even here also it is not allowing. Okay, in case as I told, then in the under parameters itself, we can do the changes by selecting the specific transaction. You can create a new one and you can give later while recording the transactions like in module wise, you will understand, because now if I create also, it will not reflect. Even if it reflects also, you will not be able to see the changes. What I can what you is if if you remember that BTN, the number sequence has been changed, right? In the same way, it should allow you for you also to show the new number sequence. So you even that also, is it not showing for you while creating the general ledger? Where did you check that one after creating the number sequence?
In accounts payable only. I've just checked in account pay. Yeah, parameters.
Okay, but if you try to record any the transaction, then it will take a new number sequence, I guess, the format.
Yes. Yeah. See, I just my question was in the number
Well,
sequence code it was ACCO underscore 16461. So if I
okay.
want to change that 16461 to any another number or something else, so it's not allowing us to do that.
Let me try to do any changes. We'll see.
Yeah, we can able to change this name, scope, company, everything, but the number sequence code which you can see in the first one, that we can unable to do that. It's already grayed out. See, it's ACC one. Yes, that one.
Okay, I think, see, this is the number sequence code, right? This got generated by default. When we created under the organization hierarchy, we have selected the number sequence, right? So based on that, this is already created. So maybe the default one we cannot change, but specific transaction wise we can change later.
Okay, fine.
That I'll show you actually later. We'll have to create a lot of number sequences and depending on the transaction while creating the main accounts. I'll show you that one. Okay, I think number sequences we can. This is all mostly about the number sequences. We will go to the calendars. Because whenever you record any transaction, again freshly you have to create the number sequence depending on the requirement of the client. So is the font size visible, or should I increase this one? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's complete now.
it's fine, Srinath.
So in general, what the calendars means, like it is just we need to divide the number of days into months or into quarters, or it can be divided into any weeks. In general, the calendar the general calendar we have is 12 months. The number of days has been divided into 12 months, each month comprising a specific number of dates. But when it comes to accounting transactions, we may have this flexibility to customize the calendar as per our requirement. For example, the company which we are running, we thought to start from Diwali to Diwali, or like any specific reason. In India, as per accounting, like as per the IT, we are supposed to maintain business calendar as in the fiscal calendar will be there, right? So that fiscal calendar will start from March 1st to till 31st. Also, it is not necessary that the calendar should start from March 1st to April 31st itself, but this is the mandatory from the IT department. to submit IT or anything related to statutory related. In case if it is an US based company, in US they don't use this March 1st to April 1st. In US, as usual, their calendar will start from January 1st to December 31st. But here in Dynamics 3, let us assume in case if you are just maintaining this any business transactions in the normal books of accounts, it is not possible for you to record transactions in two calendars reflecting. But here we have that flexibility to maintain multiple calendars. In case if you want, if you want to change the calendar from March 1st to April 31st, you can do that, or else you can you can change the dates as well. Also, you can decide under each calendar how many years you are supposed to use it for the business, because under each calendar again we can create multiple calendars. Yeah, under each calendar we can create again multiple calendars, multiple years. For example, we have in case if you need the years like for 2022 to 2025, so only for 3 years, in case if you're planning to record the transactions, then you can create only for those 3 years. Now we will try to configure the calendars in the D365. The main purpose of this calendars is to hope you know, like we need the specific date to record the transactions, right? That's the reason we need to create these fiscal calendars. And how these fiscal calendars will be connected to the ledger, that will be discussed later. Like under ledger we'll have an option to control till to which extent these calendars can be used to record the transactions, and for what all legal entities this calendars will be enabled. All these configurations can be done in the ledger, and in case if you want to keep any particular month on hold or any, all those things can be configured in the ledger. In case if you for example today you have started the business, in case if you want this calendar to be hold, if you want to freeze this particular month for the next February month, if you don't want your users to record any transactions, or if you want to unfreeze, unfreeze option is not available, I guess. Like once you log the month you cannot unfreeze, I guess. But in case if you want to freeze all these customizations, you can give under the ledger. So first let us try to create the calendar for this Britannia company. So the navigation part is just select general ledger. Under calendars, I told you, right, ledger calendars will have two ledger calendars, and this is fiscal calendars. First we need to configure the fiscal calendars, then we'll go to the ledger calendars. Yeah, so these are default calendars. It has nothing to do with whatever with the Britannia company. So we can just click on new calendar. We can give the name. I'll try to give BTN. Under the description, we'll give fiscal calendar. And you can decide the start of the fiscal year. As in general, in US, they follow the calendar from January 1st to December 31st. We'll try to give from March 1st to next year, April 1st.
It should be 1st of April till
Sorry, for the 1st of April, right? April 1st to March 31st is our financial year, right? Okay. So this is how we can customize, as in case if you're working for Germany or any other country, in if they have a different fiscal year dates, you can just change this year and the length of the period. So I'll just give you an example. What is the meaning of this length of the period? See, like as I told, we in a year we will be having 365 days, right? If you want this the calendar to be shown as per the weekly, or if you want to divide this 365 days into, it is not necessary that you should maintain only monthly calendar as a like 12 months. You can divide these 365 days into either weekly or monthly or quarterly. Since we here in India, companies follow this quarterly calendar also to release the reports and all, the management reports and all. So if it is a quarter, then we can divide the 365 days into quarters. That will be as a 4 quarters. If it is a monthly, it will be a 12 months. If it is a weekly, then 52 weeks. And there is a option, even you can divide this calendar on a day basis as well, like 365 days. So we have all these options. We'll try to select here. Under this length of the period, if you give it as a 1, and the you okay, before entering the quantity entering the quantity under the length of the period, we'll have to select the unit. Excuse me, miss. Okay, so here we have selected months, right? Okay, let us try to select the days. If you have selected here days, we can give, if you give it as a length of the period as 1, we'll see how does it creates. The calendar gets breakdown into 366 days. See here, since we have selected the length of the period is just only 1. Yeah. Even though we have 364 days, the 2 days extra, the period 01 period, the closing period will get added here. Because whenever there is, when in any business it may be, we will be having opening period and closing period. These two, by default, it will get added in any of the format you select. Either if you select as a days, if the days are into 365, 367 periods, the entire calendar will break down into 367 periods. If you give it as a weekly, 52 weeks plus opening period and closing period, it will be the total number of periods will be 54. If it is a monthly, then it will be 14. If it is a quarterly, then the periods, total number of periods will be 6. Because in every business we will be having the opening balances as well as closing balances, right? For every, or else in case if you want to transfer the closing balance of the previous year, then it will become an opening balance of the current year, right? We should have a separate period for that. The dates will remain same, but you just need to have a separate period to record those balances, because it will not, it is let us assume like a December 31st closing balance. uh, in case if you want to show in the on the January 1st opening balance, it should, the date is not date is not required January 1st. Instead of giving January 1st, it will record in the opening period 0. So here if you see, Yes. Under this period 0, the balance get transferred. In the same way, even if you want to the closing period of the closing balance of that particular year, that will get that will reflect in the period 367 or period 366 if it is a leap year. So this is how we can break down the calendar into days, weekly, monthly, or quarterly, and then if you want this to be if you want to do any changes, it will allow, you just need to click on the edit and it will allow you to do any changes. Since we have already created this 360 day wise calendar, right? This cannot be changed to like monthly or weekly. For that you can create one more new calendar. Let us try to create multiple calendars here. Okay. We need to give, let us give demo. This time we'll give as a monthly calendar. So by default months got selected. Let us try to create monthly. Yeah. So if you see here, the period 0 by default it got generated, and then the period close 13th. So total 14 periods it will get generated here. We will see one more that is for weekly. Okay, we'll select this as a months years now, and then we'll see how to break down that into weekly ones. So if it is a year, then we will have only 3 periods. One is 0, and one is this is a opening one, this is a closing, and the transactions it will get recorded under only one period. And you can see whatever the calendars that you have created here. So these 3 calendars we have created, right? Demo, BTN monthly, and the fiscal calendar. We'll select under fiscal calendar how we can create multiple years. So I think not this one. Okay, this one. We have created this BTN. I can see some noise here.
When we
Yeah, Prashant, you want to tell something?
Yeah. So when we created a weekly calendar, then the number of periods should be 54, right?
54. 52 plus 50, 2 weeks opening and closing.
Yeah. Were we able to see that? Can you go to a weekly calendar once?
No, actually, under new calendar, it will allow us to, okay, here, okay, we'll try to create one more calendar. Wait. Okay, let it be January 1st to December 31st itself. And the length of the, okay, we will try to make it as a weekly by giving the length of the period as a 7. We'll see. Yes. So 54 periods has been created. So under the
Okay,
length of and let
so the length
the length
should
of the
be
period defines, yeah, length of the
okay.
period will help you to create either weekly, quarterly, or anything.
Okay, thank you.
So we will create just one more calendar for quarterly one. Let us give quarterly, it's like 3 months. See. So if you create a quarterly, then 4 quarters has been created. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the period 0, and period 5. So these two. Yeah. So if you see, total 6 periods has been created. Under these 6 periods, fiscal period 01 will act as a opening, and period 5 will act as a closing. If you see here. And you have this option to delete any period in case if you're not using or anything, or if you want to do any changes, this delete option is also there. Now we will discuss about the creating closing period and how to divide these periods. So this creating the calendars, you understood, right? How to create the calendars and how to use this length of period in order to customize as per the requirement. Okay, before discussing about the creating closing period, we will try to create multiple years under this calendar. Okay, so here we have created this 365 days calendar. Under this, we can create new year. So by default, if you click on the new year, it will take you for the next year. Since this fiscal year starts from March 1st, 2022 to 31st April 1st, 2022 to March 31st, 23, right? If you click on new year, it will directly start from the April 1st, 23 to 24. If you want the same format, like 3 day wise, you can just enable this. By default, this will get enabled. Copy from the last fiscal year means it will allow you to create the calendar on day basis. If you want to do any changes, you just make this as enable. And later, in case from the next year, if you want to change the length of period, or if you want to use the calendar monthly wise, you can do this. I'll try to give we will try to give it as a days itself, but weekly calendar we'll try to weekly year we can give. We'll give the length of the period into 7, so that weekly calendar will get generated for the 23 to 24. Yeah. So here one more year has been generated. So total 54 periods has been created, and there's these 54 periods you can again break down into weekly or all these things, and that we'll discuss in the next one. So this is how you can create multiple years. And once again, if you click on the new year, since we the last fiscal year end date is 31st March 24, right? So now it will start from April 1st to 25. So this is how you can create multiple years as per your requirement. The like future calendars, future years, all these things you can create. So you understood it. So what is the purpose of the fiscal calendar and how to create? So slowly you will understand like what types of errors you will come across while creating the fiscal calendars or anything. The reason here, in case if you're in a support, you might get tickets from your end users saying that let us assume that the company has not created calendar for the 24. And in case if we let us assume the calendar is not, the fiscal calendar is not created for the 22 itself. The business has created only till 2021. if you want to record a end user trying to record transaction for the 2022, so he will get an error saying that the fiscal calendar has not been created for the 2022. Then he will he will raise a ticket, so the support team will check whether what is the error, and then they'll configure whether they'll configure the fiscal calendar for that particular year or for that particular period. And also remember, it is not necessary that the calendar should be only for 1 year. You can create this calendar even for months as well. Like, let us assume, in case if your client wants to close their business in the next year, March itself, so it is not required for you to create a fiscal year from January 1st to December 31st. You can just create that fiscal year only for 3 months. You just need to select the start of the year as a January 1st, and the end of the fiscal year can be given as a 31st March. That's all. And from April 1st, system won't allow any of your users or anyone, even admins or anyone it may be, to record any transactions. It will get freezed by 31st March 2023. That's all. So you have all these customizations. In case if your client asks, do I have, can I break? See, this is how the requirements comes up from the client end, saying that is because since we know all the features in Day 365, the client will ask us to have this flexibility to break down the calendar into yearly or monthly or weekly. Then we will have to show them step by step. Yes, this is how you can configure, or else if they give any requirement, first you need to check from your demo environment. You will be giving an access to UAT, user acceptance testing environment. You will check whether it is working or not. Then you will take the screenshots, you will take the print step by step procedure, and then you will guide the users. So recently also, like, I just got one of my one error saying that the client was unable to post transactions for the next month or next year one. I mean the last year. So they have not configured for the 2022. So that is why we need to configure for 2022. Then the user was able to post the transactions. So you understood, right? If you can confirm, then we will go to the next topic, that is how to divide the periods. Hello?
Yeah, we can continue, Srinivas.
Yeah. What about others? Rajesh, Soumya, Prashant, Neeraj, Pankaj?
Yeah, please go ahead, Srinivas.
Okay, okay. Thanks for the acknowledgement. Then we'll see how we can divide the periods. Okay. So till now we have discussed how we can divide the year into day wise or monthly wise or quarterly wise. Now again, in case if you want to divide this specific period one, only for since here we have a limitation to select only. If you select months, the entire calendar will get breakdown into months. If you select months, the entire calendar will get will break down into months. If you select year, the entire calendar will affect. But if you don't want to affect the entire calendar, but you want to divide only this period, let us assume if you want, since it is a 52-week calendar, right? Uh, if you want this period one to break, if you want to divide this period one into two parts, like for 3 days one and 4 days one, how do you do that? Like we will have to, we have that flexibility as well. We just need to click on this period one, select. Yeah, if you just double click on this one, you can see here option here, divide period. Yeah. If you see the start date of that particular period is for April 1st to April 1st, 2023, right? Then it will take the next date. So see, if you see the disclaimer, you enter a new period between 4/1/2022 23 to 4/7. That means it allows you to break down this period only between the 7 days, since you have selected only period 1. So it has nothing to do with the rest of the periods, whatever it has been created as per the conditions given while creating the calendar or while creating the new year. So that this will create changes only for this particular period. Let us give it as a period 1.1. Just click on divide. See, so one more period has been created. And here, any transactions, if you post under period 1, the last date of that particular period will get closed on the same day itself. And next day, whenever you are creating any, you are recording any transactions, that will show under the period 1.1. So it is just like a new period. That's all. Like after some time, if you're referring to any of your books of accounts, the transactions posted under 2nd April to 7th March, this will get those transactions will show under period 1.1 itself. These are not going to show under period 1 or period 2. So this is complete new period. Again, if you want to break down this period, you can still do that. Since we thought to decide break down the period, the first week into 2 periods, right? Like 3 days one and 4 days one. We will try to divide this one as well. Just click on divide. Here we will give, since it is already created, like from April 2nd to April 7th, right? Let the start date be that one only, or else we can give the start date from April 6th. And we'll give the period name as a period 1.2. Yeah. See, if you give the start date of this particular period, the previous due, it will become the closing period, the closing date of that particular period. See, since the entire first week got divided into 2 periods, that is like 4/1/2023 till April 7th. So total 3 periods has been created for that particular period. So like this, you can divide the entire period into any number of periods, as long as it is allowing. Like in case if it is a day wise, the maximum you can go for the 7 days. If it is a monthly, like this, it is up as per your requirement. This option helps you whenever a client asks you to record transactions or to identify transactions only for those 2 days, or in case if he wants to rename, maybe for some sort of reasons, instead of period, if he wants to give any name, you can do those changes here. And if he wants to record transactions only for those 2 days or 3 days or 5 days, whatever it may be, or for that particular month, you can break down that period. And here we can create one more closing period in case if you need that also. I'll show you. Let us select period. Okay, so this concept you understood, right? How to divide the period.
One thing, Srinivas, why we need to change the specific periods and divide the periods? Normally we do entire month, right?
That is what
So
I'm telling.
it's any
It is a
necessary to.
customized requirement. It is necessary when customer asks us to divide the period. Let us assume that I'm running a Britannia business. Maybe for some reason I want to I want to see the transactions related to only for those 3 days. For some reason, for auditing purpose or anything it may be, or to get the reports of those 2 days or anything it may be. Because it all depends on flexibility of the D365 has that feature. It is not necessary for you to use only monthly wise or weekly calendar or days. It has nothing to do with that. It is up to you. Whatever the legacy system that the client has been following in his previous accounting, he can use that one. Or else if he wants to explore the new uh, what will call the futures, you see, as it these are all options are there. In case if clients ask you to use this, because then only you can use this one. I'll tell you one more scenario when this dividing period will help us, because in few companies they will follow uh, different calendar format itself. Maybe you might have heard that one, 445 or 454 or 544. So this is a weekly calendar. It is a general practice that it is a assumption that every business will follow April 1st to 31st, right? Monthly wise calendar. But there are companies, or there are in few countries, they follow this format as well. So what this represents: 4 weeks, 4 weeks, and 5 weeks. So in a month, or in case if they want to break down, if in case if they want to record transactions like if it is a quarter, let us assume if it is a quarter, or in case if they don't want to record transactions like monthly wise, they can divide the entire year into this weekly calendar: 4 weeks one, and then 4 weeks, and then 5 weeks. So it will at that time it will help you to divide the calendar. In case if the client asks any custom, this is a general, this is also a lot of companies follows this one: 4/4 calendar, 4/4/5 calendar, or 4/5/4 means first period will have a 4 weeks, and the second period will have a 5 weeks, third period will be 4 weeks, and fourth period will again start with the 4. So this is how the calendar will start. So now you understood, right, why we use this divide period option. Because if you want to divide, if you want to create a calendar in this format, under this option it will not allow you to do those changes, right? Because the length of period here, it will take either 1, 2, 3, or whatever you give here. But if you want to divide the entire period as per the 445 445 or 454, it will not recognize. That is why here we have this option to create the divide the period. So did I answer your question, Rajesh?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. We will try to create one such period as well. So let us try to create this 4/4/5 calendar. Let us assume in January month. "31 days are there, right?" So in case if you want to make a 4 weeks, like, or else 4 days. You see, this, it is not necessary that it should be 4 weeks, or you can make it as a 4 days as well, or 4 months, anything as per the client. The client will just tell that we in our legacy accounting system, or in their previous software, SAP or anywhere it may be, they are following this 4/4/5 on day basis. Then you can just create on daily basis. So let us assume it is a 4/4/5 calendar. So the January 1st to 31st, we will try to divide this into 4/4/5, like 1 to 4. So first period will be for only 4 days. That is from January 1st to And the next it says like 4, and next is also 4 only. Then the next period will start from 5th Jan to 5, 6, 7, 8, 8th Jan. So this is how you can create, like first, in case if clients ask you to create this type of calendar, you can just break down the number of days into in an Excel sheet, and then you can, here you can just click on the divide period. You can customize as per the client requirement. See, but most of the times this is very rare requirement that comes up from the client, but it is not necessary. But if you understand, if you know that there is something, this feature, then it will help you. So we'll understand what is a closing period. Okay, let us select period 3. Okay, in case if you want to create the closing period, just select the last next period. Okay, see, if you want to create the closing period, even though already there is an existing closing period, but sometimes this option will help you in case if you're transferring the balances, or if you're if you want to, for example, let us assume like income tax department will ask you to like, okay, after the 31st March, you are supposed to file the returns, right? Or if you want to close their books of accounts, you want to show the balances in this particular period. But that here it won't affect for the temporary. You can create one more closing period, even though the same and the transactions whatever you are posting, that will get posted here. You can create one more period to show those balances only to any statutory departments. For that purpose, you can create like this closing periods as well. But opening period, it will we don't have option to create the opening period, because by default the period 0 will get generated. You can get the balances from the previous closing period. Since this creating closing period is enabled only, it'll because in India we may need to under like few companies, they will maintain separate closing period. That means for this particular period, they will disable the option for the end users to restrict from posting transactions, because in the last 2 days or 3 days, in the like March 21st or like March 27th or somewhere, they will stop that end users to record the transactions. Only for those 3 days they will create a separate closing period by breaking down this one, or else by doing any changes as per the requirement. So now you understood, right, what is the purpose of dividing period, and what is the purpose of creating closing period. So any doubts under this creating calendars or creating these fiscal years? Hello?
Srinivas, can we delete one period and see?
Yeah, we'll try to delete this one. So it will ask you the disclaimer. We'll just give it as an yes. Okay. The period 52 got deleted, but it won't change the sequence and the number sequence for the next period. That period gets deleted, that's all. So you have this option as well, like in case if you want to delete period, you can delete. If you want to add one more period, Later you can just click on, see if you see here the entire month got deleted, the week. Sorry. To 16, that still I can see that 3/16/24 to 3/29. Okay, so if you delete that period, the number of days that got merged in the previous period. Can you see the difference here? Hello, Prashant. Can someone
Yes.
acknowledge that you can see the difference, right? If you see the period
Yes,
50,
Chinu.
If you see the period 50 from March 9th to March 15th, since we have selected the weekly one, right? So 7 days it is showing here, but under 51, 2 weeks got merged. Since we have deleted that 52, those days we cannot remove the days, but we can remove the periods. It's like flexible, that's all, like this. 4, 4, 5 or anything it may be.
Yeah, it's included in
It got
previous.
merged previous period, that's all.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you have this delete option, create closing period, and then the divide period. As per the client requirement, you can select this all these options. I hope I have answered
Yeah,
almost everything
one more
related.
thing.
Yeah, please.
One more thing, Srinivas. For any number sequence, we cannot change any number sequences, right? In the for example, it will calculate it to 54 in that, right? So
Sorry,
if yeah, actually we are dividing the periods into 54, right?
52. Okay, here
Yeah,
the total periods got divided into 54. Okay, tell me.
yeah, okay. If we can delete one period in this from the number sequence 1 to 54, any of the number.
We have deleted,
So
right? Period 52.
yeah, 52. It's want to sorry. It will allow to change the 53 as 52 once we deleted 52.
I guess it should allow. We'll do that. Yes. The period, see, actually, the moment you keep your cursor on this period, it will, you can do the changes, like you can rename as per your requirement, 51 or 52, 52 like this.
Okay.
See, by default, it won't generate, is what I'm saying. The moment you delete the 52, the next period, it won't, I mean, the system will not generate it. It will not do those changes from the P52 to 53. The manually you can do that.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So if you are clear with this fiscal calendar, we will stop the recording for today.